Accuplacer Next Generation Reading Exam Study Guide. Question 1. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. A writer argues that tutoring increases persistence. She cites improved attendance after tutoring expanded. Option A, contrast. Option B, evidence and claim. Option C, definition. Option D, sequence. The correct answer is option B, evidence and claim. The second sentence relates to the first through evidence and claim, so that relationship best describes the pair. Sequence, contrast, and definition describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 2. The statement "a guide gives steps for eliminating unsupported answer choices" is mainly written for which purpose? Option A, to list campus clubs. Option B, to complain about grading. Option C, to entertain with humor. Option D, to instruct readers in a test-taking strategy. The correct answer is option D, to instruct readers in a test-taking strategy. The statement is designed to instruct readers in a test-taking strategy, which matches its practical focus and wording. To complain about grading, to entertain with humor, and to list campus clubs describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 3. How should a reader describe the tone of "it is surprising that such a small change produced such a noticeable improvement"? Option A, impressed. Option B, confused. Option C, indifferent. Option D, bitter. The correct answer is option A, impressed. The wording creates an impressed tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Indifferent, bitter, and confused do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 4. Which meaning best matches the word catalyst when the context clue is something that causes a change? Option A, imitation. Option B, barrier. Option C, something that causes a change. Option D, summary. The correct answer is option C, something that causes a change. The context clue defines catalyst as something that causes a change, so that meaning fits the word. Barrier, summary, and imitation point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 5. Which meaning best matches the word subjective when the context clue is based on personal opinion? Option A, based on personal opinion. Option B, universal. Option C, factual. Option D, neutral. The correct answer is option A, based on personal opinion. The context clue defines subjective as based on personal opinion, so that meaning fits the word. Factual, neutral, and universal point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 6. How should a reader describe the tone of "unfortunately, the old policy created unnecessary obstacles for many students"? Option A, playful. Option B, critical. Option C, celebratory. Option D, neutral. The correct answer is option B, critical. The wording creates a critical tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Celebratory, neutral, and playful do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 7. Identify the best connector for the blank. The passage begins with a serious problem. Blank, the conclusion offers a hopeful solution. Option A, as a result. Option B, nevertheless. Option C, likewise. Option D, for instance. The correct answer is option B, nevertheless. The two ideas show contrast, so nevertheless creates the clearest logical connection. For instance signals a different relationship, as a result introduces a different type of link, and likewise does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 8. Which meaning best matches the word prevalent when the context clue is widespread or common? Option A, rare. Option B, hidden. Option C, temporary. Option D, widespread or common. The correct answer is option D, widespread or common. The context clue defines prevalent as widespread or common, so that meaning fits the word. Rare, hidden, and temporary point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 9. Which meaning best matches the word prudent when the context clue is showing good judgment and caution? Option A, confused. Option B, showing good judgment and caution. Option C, plain. Option D, reckless. The correct answer is option B, showing good judgment and caution. The context clue defines prudent as showing good judgment and caution, so that meaning fits the word. Reckless, confused, and plain point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 10. How should a reader describe the tone of the new reading lab offers flexible hours, helpful tutors, and free practice materials? Option A, hostile. Option B, doubtful. Option C, encouraging. Option D, sarcastic. The correct answer is option C, encouraging. The wording creates an encouraging tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Hostile, doubtful, and sarcastic do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 11. Identify the best connector for the blank. The writer uses precise evidence. Blank. The paragraph includes a date, a statistic, and a direct observation. Option A, likewise. Option B, for instance. Option C, nevertheless. Option D, consequently. The correct answer is option B, for instance. The two ideas show example, so for instance creates the clearest logical connection, nevertheless signals a different relationship, consequently introduces a different type of link, and likewise does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 12. The word they in the sentence, the tutor placed the study cards beside the workbook so they would be easy to reach, most clearly refers to what? Option A, the table. Option B, the tutor. Option C, the workbook. Option D, the study cards. The correct answer is option D, the study cards. The pronoun points back to the study cards, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. The tutor, the workbook, and the table do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 13. The statement in editorial argues that colleges should expand free tutoring programs, is mainly written for which purpose? Option A, to persuade readers to support a policy. Option B, to provide directions to a classroom. Option C, to define unfamiliar vocabulary. Option D, to tell a personal vacation story. The correct answer is option A, to persuade readers to support a policy. The statement is designed to persuade readers to support a policy, which matches its practical focus and wording, to provide directions to a classroom, to define unfamiliar vocabulary, and to tell a personal vacation story describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 14. Which meaning best matches the word comprehensive when the context clue is covering many or all parts? Option A, random. Option B, covering many or all parts. Option C, partial. Option D, brief. The correct answer is option B, covering many or all parts. The context clue defines comprehensive as covering many or all parts, so that meaning fits the word. Partial, brief, and random point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 15. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. Good readers use active strategies. One strategy is underlining the phrase that proves an answer. Option A, cause and effect. Option B, definition only. Option C, example. Option D, contrast. The correct answer is option C, example. The second sentence relates to the first through example, so that relationship best describes the pair. Contrast, cause and effect, and definition only describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 16. Identify the best connector for the blank. Strong readers notice signal words. Blank. They track pronoun references across sentences. Option A, as a result. Option B, instead. Option C, although. Option D, moreover. The correct answer is option D, moreover. The two ideas show addition, so moreover creates the clearest logical connection, although signals a different relationship, as a result introduces a different type of link, and instead does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 17. The statement, a paragraph describes the history of a community reading center, is mainly written for which purpose? Option A, to provide background information. Option B, to persuade readers to avoid libraries. Option C, to make a joke about exams. Option D, to solve an algebra problem. The correct answer is option A, to provide background information. The statement is designed to provide background information, which matches its practical focus and wording, to solve an algebra problem, to persuade readers to avoid libraries, and to make a joke about exams describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 18. The statement, a notice warns that late arrivals may need to reschedule. is mainly written for which purpose? Option A. To describe a fictional setting. Option B. To summarize a research article. Option C. To caution students about a consequence. Option D. To praise students for arriving early. The correct answer is option C. To caution students about a consequence. The statement is designed to caution students about a consequence, which matches its practical focus and wording. To praise students for arriving early, to describe a fictional setting, and to summarize a research article describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 19. The worded in the sentence, Maya returned the borrowed laptop to the library because it needed maintenance, most clearly refers to what? Option A. The borrowed laptop. Option B. Maintenance. Option C. Maya. Option D. The library. The correct answer is option A. The borrowed laptop. The pronoun points back to the borrowed laptop, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. Maya, the library, and maintenance do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 20. The statement transition words such as however, therefore, and similarly reveal how ideas fit together, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. Every sentence uses the same transition. Option B. Signal words help readers identify relationships between ideas. Option C. Readers should ignore connecting words. Option D. Transition words are mainly spelling clues. The correct answer is option B. Signal words help readers identify relationships between ideas. The sentence centers on the idea that signal words help readers identify relationships between ideas. Transition words are mainly spelling clues. Every sentence uses the same transition, and readers should ignore connecting words, either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 21. What evidence most directly supports this claim? A main idea should be broad enough to include the whole statement. Option A. Details are always more accurate than summaries. Option B. A choice that covers only one detail is usually too narrow. Option C. The longest choice must be broad enough. Option D. A main idea should ignore the topic. The correct answer is option B. A choice that covers only one detail is usually too narrow. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. The longest choice must be broad enough. A main idea should ignore the topic, and details are always more accurate than summaries are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 22. The reasoning in the tutoring center added evening appointments because daytime sessions fill quickly relies on which assumption? Option A. Some students are available in the evening. Option B. The center has stopped offering daytime help. Option C. Evening appointments require no staff. Option D. Students dislike all tutoring. The correct answer is option A. Some students are available in the evening. The reasoning depends on the idea that some students are available in the evening, because that link makes the statement sensible. Students dislike all tutoring. The center has stopped offering daytime help, and evening appointments require no staff either contradict the statement or it claims the statement does not require. Question 23. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Context clues help readers define unfamiliar words. Option A. Every answer choice has the same meaning. Option B. Nearby examples and definitions often reveal a word's meaning. Option C. Students should skip difficult sentences. Option D. Long words always have Latin roots. The correct answer is option B. Nearby examples and definitions often reveal a word's meaning. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Long words always have Latin roots. Every answer choice has the same meaning, and students should skip difficult sentences are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 24. The statement comparing two ideas can reveal similarities, while contrasting them shows differences, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. Comparison and contrast are different ways of relating ideas. Option B. Similarities and differences are unrelated to reading. Option C. Comparison always shows cause. Option D. Contrast means repeating an idea. The correct answer is option A. Comparison and contrast are different ways of relating ideas. The sentence centers on the idea that comparison and contrast are different ways of relating ideas. Comparison always shows cause. Contrast means repeating an idea, and similarities and differences are unrelated to reading. Either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 25. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. The passage uses simple vocabulary. Its argument is still complex. And option A, example. Option B, sequence. Option C, definition. Option D, concession. The correct answer is option D, concession. The second sentence relates to the first through concession, so that relationship best describes the pair. Sequence, definition, and example describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 26. The reasoning in the study group meets twice a week to review inference questions, relies on which assumption? Option A, inference questions are impossible to learn. Option B, the group does not discuss reading. Option C, regular practice may help students improve inference skills. Option D, meeting once guarantees a perfect score. The correct answer is option C, regular practice may help students improve inference skills. The reasoning depends on the idea that regular practice may help students improve inference skills, because that link makes the statement sensible. Inference questions are impossible to learn, the group does not discuss reading, and meeting once guarantees a perfect score either contradict the statement or it claims the statement does not require. Question 27. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Strong readers distinguish facts from opinions. Option A, facts cannot be checked. Option B, personal judgments are never used in writing. Option C, opinions are always longer than facts. Option D, verifiable statements differ from personal judgments or beliefs. The correct answer is option D, verifiable statements differ from personal judgments or beliefs. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Opinions are always longer than facts. Facts cannot be checked, and personal judgments are never used in writing are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 28. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Transition words are important for comprehension. Option A, words such as however and therefore show contrast or result. Option B, every transition means the same thing. Option C, comprehension depends only on spelling. Option D, transitions are never used in academic writing. The correct answer is option A, words such as however and therefore show contrast or result. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Transitions are never used in academic writing, every transition means the same thing, and comprehension depends only on spelling are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 29. The statement answer choices that are too extreme often fail because they add ideas not proven by the text, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A, extreme choices are always correct. Option B, unsupported details improve accuracy. Option C, overly broad choices may be unsupported. Option D, the text never limits an answer. The correct answer is option C, overly broad choices may be unsupported. The sentence centers on the idea that overly broad choices may be unsupported. Extreme choices are always correct, unsupported details improve accuracy, and the text never limits an answer either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 30. The statement, a paragraph explains why daily reading practice can improve speed and accuracy, is mainly written for which purpose? Option A, to advertise a restaurant. Option B, to explain the benefit of a study habit. Option C, to narrate a childhood memory. Option D, to define a math term. The correct answer is option B, to explain the benefit of a study habit. The statement is designed to explain the benefit of a study habit, which matches its practical focus and wording, to advertise a restaurant, to narrate a childhood memory, and to define a math term describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 31. Given the information, the advisor offers optional reading workshops before registration week. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A, all students are required to attend workshops. Option B, some students may benefit from extra preparation before placement. Option C, registration has been cancelled. Option D, the workshops replace the reading test. The correct answer is option B, Some students may benefit from extra preparation before placement. The statement directly supports the idea that some students may benefit from extra preparation before placement. All students are required to attend workshops, registration has been cancelled, and the workshops replace the reading test, go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 32. Given the information, a student changes an answer after noticing the word although. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A. The student is guessing randomly. Option B. Signal words can change how ideas should be interpreted. Option C. The question is asking for spelling. Option D. Transition words never matter. The correct answer is option B. Signal words can change how ideas should be interpreted. The statement directly supports the idea that signal words can change how ideas should be interpreted. Transition words never matter. The student is guessing randomly, and the question is asking for spelling, go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 33. Given the information, a student rereads a confusing sentence before choosing an answer. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A. The student is using evidence rather than guessing. Option B. The sentence contains no useful information. Option C. The student has already finished the test. Option D. The answer must be vocabulary-based. The correct answer is option A. The student is using evidence rather than guessing. The statement directly supports the idea that the student is using evidence rather than guessing. The student has already finished the test, the answer must be vocabulary-based, and the sentence contains no useful information, go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 34. The reasoning in the writer defines a term before using it in an argument, relies on which assumption? Option A. Readers should skip defined words. Option B. Definitions make arguments less clear. Option C. The term is unrelated to the argument. Option D. Readers need to understand the term to follow the argument. The correct answer is option D. Readers need to understand the term to follow the argument. The reasoning depends on the idea that readers need to understand the term to follow the argument, because that link makes the statement sensible. Definitions make arguments less clear. The term is unrelated to the argument, and readers should skip defined words, either contradict the statement or add claims the statement does not require. Question 35. The statement, a sentence describes how the meaning of a word changes when the surrounding words change, is mainly written for which purpose? Option A. To compare two sports. Option B. To explain context-dependent meaning. Option C. To ask for private information. Option D. To celebrate a holiday. The correct answer is option B. To explain context-dependent meaning. The statement is designed to explain context-dependent meaning, which matches its practical focus and wording. To celebrate a holiday, to compare two sports, and to ask for private information describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 36. The statement, a tutor's handout explains common distractor patterns in multiple choice questions, is mainly written for which purpose? Option A. To sell unrelated equipment. Option B. To teach readers how wrong answers are designed. Option C. To announce a school sports schedule. Option D. To describe a personal dream. The correct answer is option B. To teach readers how wrong answers are designed. The statement is designed to teach readers how wrong answers are designed, which matches its practical focus and wording. To announce a school sports schedule, to describe a personal dream, and to sell unrelated equipment describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 37. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. Careful reading improves accuracy. Checking transition words is one way to read carefully. Option A. Generalization and detail. Option B. Contrast. Option C. Cause and effect only. Option D. Comparison. The correct answer is option A. Generalization and detail. The second sentence relates to the first through generalization and detail, so that relationship best describes the pair. Contrast, cause and effect only, and comparison describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 38. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. A topic sentence previews the paragraph's focus. A thesis statement previews an essay's main argument. Option A. Contrast. Option B. Cause and effect. Option C. Comparison. Option D. Problem and solution. The correct answer is option C. Comparison. The second sentence relates to the first through comparison, so that relationship best describes the pair. Contrast, cause and effect, and problem and solution describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 39. Given the information the passage title is serious, but the final sentence is humorous, which conclusion is best supported? Option A. The title must be incorrect. Option B. The passage has no tone. Option C. Humor always weakens an argument. Option D. The writer's tone may shift near the end. The correct answer is option D. The writer's tone may shift near the end. The statement directly supports the idea that the writer's tone may shift near the end. The title must be incorrect, the passage has no tone, and humor always weakens an argument go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 40. The reasoning in the advisor recommends vocabulary practice before the reading test, relies on which assumption? Option A. Students already know every word. Option B. Vocabulary knowledge can affect reading performance. Option C. Vocabulary practice replaces all reading skills. Option D. The advisor teaches only math. The correct answer is option B. Vocabulary knowledge can affect reading performance. The reasoning depends on the idea that vocabulary knowledge can affect reading performance, because that link makes the statement sensible. Vocabulary practice replaces all reading skills, the advisor teaches only math, and students already know every word either contradict the statement or it claims the statement does not require. Question 41. The word "these" in the sentence "the website posted the registration rules, and these helped students prepare" most clearly refers to what? Option A. Preparation. Option B. The website. Option C. The registration rules. Option D. Students. The correct answer is option C. The registration rules. The pronoun points back to the registration rules, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. The website, students, and preparation do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 42. The statement "a short article compares online practice tools with printed study packets" is mainly written for which purpose? Option A. To define a single term. Option B. To narrate a mystery. Option C. To warn against all studying. Option D. To compare two preparation resources. The correct answer is option D. To compare two preparation resources. The statement is designed to compare two preparation resources, which matches its practical focus and wording. To define a single term, to narrate a mystery, and to warn against all studying describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 43. The statement "inference questions ask readers to use evidence to reach a conclusion that is suggested but not directly stated" mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. Inferences rely on supported conclusions drawn from clues. Option B. Every answer must be quoted exactly. Option C. Inference questions test only punctuation. Option D. Inferences are random guesses. The correct answer is option A. Inferences rely on supported conclusions drawn from clues. The sentence centers on the idea that inferences rely on supported conclusions drawn from clues. Inferences are random guesses, every answer must be quoted exactly, and inference questions test only punctuation, either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 44. How should a reader describe the tone of "the proposal sounds promising, but its costs require careful review"? Option A. Reckless. Option B. Cautious. Option C. Mocking. Option D. Furious. The correct answer is option B. Cautious. The wording creates a cautious tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Reckless, mocking, and furious do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 45. Which meaning best matches the word credible when the context clue is believable and trustworthy? Option A. Ordinary. Option B. Doubtful. Option C. Careless. Option D. Believable and trustworthy. The correct answer is option D. Believable and trustworthy. The context clue defines credible as believable and trustworthy, so that meaning fits the word. Doubtful, careless, and ordinary point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 46. Identify the best connector for the blank. The instructions were printed in bold type. Blank, students noticed the deadline more quickly. Option A. Meanwhile. Option B. However. Option C. Therefore. Option D. For example. The correct answer is option C. Therefore. The two ideas show cause and effect, so therefore creates the clearest logical connection. However, signals a different relationship. For example, introduces a different type of link, and meanwhile does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 47. The statement and author's tone can often be recognized by noticing word choice and attitude, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. Tone is the same as topic. Option B. Word choice helps reveal the writer's attitude. Option C. Tone depends only on paragraph length. Option D. Authors never show attitude. The correct answer is option B. Word choice helps reveal the writer's attitude. The sentence centers on the idea that word choice helps reveal the writer's attitude. Tone depends only on paragraph length. Authors never show attitude, and tone is the same as topic. Either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 48. The reasoning in the course recommends practicing main idea questions with short statements first, relies on which assumption? Option A. Long passages should never be practiced. Option B. Shorter items can help build a skill before longer reading tasks. Option C. Short statements contain no central point. Option D. Main ideas are unrelated to reading. The correct answer is option B. Shorter items can help build a skill before longer reading tasks. The reasoning depends on the idea that shorter items can help build a skill before longer reading tasks, because that link makes the statement sensible. Main ideas are unrelated to reading, long passages should never be practiced, and short statements contain no central point. Either contradict the statement or it claims the statement does not require. Question 49. The word they in the sentence "the students reviewed the checklist before they entered the testing room" most clearly refers to what? Option A. The checklist. Option B. The students. Option C. The testing room. Option D. The review. The correct answer is option B. The students. The pronoun points back to the students, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. The checklist, the testing room, and the review do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 50. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Pronoun references affect sentence clarity. Option A. A reader must know what words like it, they, and this refer to. Option B. Clear references matter only in dialogue. Option C. The pronouns always refer to the closest noun. Option D. Pronouns are unrelated to meaning. The correct answer is option A. A reader must know what words like it, they, and this refer to. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Pronouns always refer to the closest noun, pronouns are unrelated to meaning, and clear references matter only in dialogue are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 51. Identify the best connector for the blank. Several strategies improve comprehension. Blank, annotating, previewing headings, and rereading difficult sentences are useful. Option A. For example. Option B. However. Option C. Instead. Option D. Therefore. The correct answer is option A. For example. The two ideas show example, so for example creates the clearest logical connection, therefore signals a different relationship, however introduces a different type of link, and instead does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 52. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship, context clues are surrounding words. They help readers determine the meaning of an unfamiliar term. Option A. Contrast. Option B. Definition. Option C. Sequence. Option D. Comparison. The correct answer is option B. Definition. The second sentence relates to the first through definition, so that relationship best describes the pair. Contrast, sequence, and comparison describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 53. The statement readers improve accuracy when they connect each answer choice to specific wording in the sentence, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. Accurate answers should be supported by evidence in the wording. Option B. All reading questions test grammar rules. Option C. Long answer choices are usually best. Option D. Students should choose answers by personal preference. The correct answer is option A. Accurate answers should be supported by evidence in the wording. The sentence centers on the idea that accurate answers should be supported by evidence in the wording. All reading questions test grammar rules. Long answer choices are usually best, and students should choose answers by personal preference, either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 54. The reasoning in the instructor advises students to read the entire sentence before selecting a word meaning relies on which assumption? Option A. Later parts of a sentence may provide important context. Option B. The first word always determines the answer. Option C. Context appears only before a word. Option D. Word meaning never depends on context. The correct answer is option A. Later parts of a sentence may provide important context. The reasoning depends on the idea that later parts of a sentence may provide important context, because that link makes the statement sensible. The first word always determines the answer, context appears only before a word, and word meaning never depends on context either contradict the statement or add claims the statement does not require. Question 55. Which meaning best matches the word explicit when the context clue is clearly stated? Option A. Implied. Option B. Clearly stated. Option C. Distant. Option D. Temporary. The correct answer is option B. Clearly stated. The context clue defines explicit as clearly stated, so that meaning fits the word. Implied, distant, and temporary point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 56. The statement "A campus email lists testing hours, required identification, and the check-in location" is mainly written for which purpose? Option A. To inform students about testing logistics. Option B. To compare two novels. Option C. To entertain students with a story. Option D. To argue against placement testing. The correct answer is option A. To inform students about testing logistics. The statement is designed to inform students about testing logistics, which matches its practical focus and wording. To entertain students with a story, to argue against placement testing, and to compare two novels describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 57. Which meaning best matches the word diminish when the context clue is make smaller or less important? Option A. Make smaller or less important. Option B. Increase. Option C. Praise. Option D. Explain. The correct answer is option A. Make smaller or less important. The context clue defines diminish as make smaller or less important, so that meaning fits the word. Increase, praise, and explain point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 58. Which meaning best matches the word implicit when the context clue is suggested without being directly stated? Option A. Proven false. Option B. Listed twice. Option C. Suggested without being directly stated. Option D. Stated directly. The correct answer is option C. Suggested without being directly stated. The context clue defines implicit as suggested without being directly stated, so that meaning fits the word. Stated directly, proven false, and listed twice point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 59. How should a reader describe the tone of "The critic argues that the evidence is incomplete and the conclusion is premature"? Option A. Carefree. Option B. Skeptical. Option C. Sentimental. Option D. Enthusiastic. The correct answer is option B. Skeptical. The wording creates a skeptical tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Enthusiastic, carefree, and sentimental do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 60. Identify the best connector for the blank. The first draft was disorganized. Blank. The final draft followed a clear outline. Option A. However. Option B. Therefore. Option C. For example. Option D. Similarly. The correct answer is option A. However. The two ideas show contrast, so however creates the clearest logical connection. Therefore signals a different relationship. For example, introduces a different type of link, and similarly does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 61. Given the information the reading lab tracks which question types students miss most often, which conclusion is best supported? Option A. Tracking results prevents students from studying. Option B. The lab can target instruction to specific skills. Option C. The lab is only collecting attendance. Option D. All question types are equally difficult. The correct answer is option B. The lab can target instruction to specific skills. The statement directly supports the idea that the lab can target instruction to specific skills. The lab is only collecting attendance, all question types are equally difficult, and tracking results prevents students from studying go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 62. How should a reader describe the tone of the committee carefully reviewed each application before making a decision? Option A. Methodical. Option B. Panicked. Option C. Resentful. Option D. A mocking. The correct answer is option A. Methodical. The wording creates a methodical tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Mocking, panicked, and resentful do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 63. The reasoning in the college posts sample questions on its testing page relies on which assumption? Option A. Students may use sample questions to prepare. Option B. Only instructors can read the page. Option C. Sample questions are hidden from students. Option D. The college discourages preparation. The correct answer is option A. Students may use sample questions to prepare. The reasoning depends on the idea that students may use sample questions to prepare, because that link makes the statement sensible. Sample questions are hidden from students, the college discourages preparation, and only instructors can read the page either contradict the statement or it claims the statement does not require. Question 64. The statement, context clues allow readers to estimate the meaning of unfamiliar words without a dictionary, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. Dictionaries are required for every test question. Option B. Unfamiliar words cannot be understood. Option C. Readers should skip all difficult words. Option D. Nearby words can help readers determine unfamiliar meanings. The correct answer is option D. Nearby words can help readers determine unfamiliar meanings. The sentence centers on the idea that nearby words can help readers determine unfamiliar meanings. Dictionaries are required for every test question, unfamiliar words cannot be understood, and readers should skip all difficult words, either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 65. The word "it" in the sentence, "the advisor updated the schedule after it caused confusion," most clearly refers to what? Option A. The schedule. Option B. The advisor. Option C. The update. Option D. The confusion. The correct answer is option A. The schedule. The pronoun points back to the schedule, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. The advisor, the update, and the confusion do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 66. Given the information, the directions say to choose the answer best supported by the wording. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A. The test rewards evidence-based interpretation. Option B. Personal opinions should control the answer. Option C. Every answer choice is equally supported. Option D. Outside research is required. The correct answer is option A. The test rewards evidence-based interpretation. The statement directly supports the idea that the test rewards evidence-based interpretation. Personal opinions should control the answer, every answer choice is equally supported, and outside research is required go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 67. The word "it" in the sentence, "Jordan saved the confirmation email because it listed the appointment time," most clearly refers to what? Option A. The appointment. Option B. The time. Option C. The confirmation email. Option D. Jordan. The correct answer is option C. The confirmation email. The pronoun points back to the confirmation email, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. Jordan, the appointment, and the time do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 68. The reasoning in the practice app reports skill categories after each session relies on which assumption? Option A. The app cannot track responses. Option B. Skill categories are always identical. Option C. Students can use feedback to identify weak areas. Option D. Feedback is unrelated to studying. The correct answer is option C. Students can use feedback to identify weak areas. The reasoning depends on the idea that students can use feedback to identify weak areas, because that link makes the statement sensible. Feedback is unrelated to studying, the app cannot track responses, and skill categories are always identical, either contradict the statement or it claims the statement does not require. Question 69. Given the information, the instructor tells students not to choose an answer just because it sounds familiar. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A. A familiar phrase can still be an unsupported choice. Option B. The shortest answer is always correct. Option C. Students should avoid reading the question. Option D. Familiar words are never used on tests. The correct answer is option A. A familiar phrase can still be an unsupported choice. The statement directly supports the idea that a familiar phrase can still be an unsupported choice. Familiar words are never used on tests. The shortest answer is always correct, and students should avoid reading the question, go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 70. The word one in the sentence, the class discussed two strategies, but one was more useful for vocabulary questions, most clearly refers to what? Option A. The class. Option B. All vocabulary questions. Option C. The discussion. Option D. One of the two strategies. The correct answer is option D. One of the two strategies. The pronoun points back to one of the two strategies, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. The class, all vocabulary questions, and the discussion do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 71. Given the information, a practice report shows errors mostly in inference questions. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A. The report proves the test was scored incorrectly. Option B. The student should stop practicing reading. Option C. The student should review how to draw conclusions from clues. Option D. Vocabulary is the only weakness. The correct answer is option C. The student should review how to draw conclusions from clues. The statement directly supports the idea that the student should review how to draw conclusions from clues. The student should stop practicing reading. Vocabulary is the only weakness, and the report proves the test was scored incorrectly, go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 72. The statement, careful readers revise their first impression when later wording changes the direction of a sentence, mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A. First impressions are always correct. Option B. Later words can require readers to adjust their interpretation. Option C. Later wording never matters. Option D. Reading questions should be answered before reading fully. The correct answer is option B. Later words can require readers to adjust their interpretation. The sentence centers on the idea that later words can require readers to adjust their interpretation. First impressions are always correct, later wording never matters, and reading questions should be answered before reading fully, either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 73. The word they in the sentence, students practiced with sample questions because they wanted to reduce test anxiety, most clearly refers to what? Option A. Test anxiety. Option B. Students. Option C. Practice. Option D. Sample questions. The correct answer is option B. Students. The pronoun points back to students, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. Sample questions, test anxiety, and practice do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 74. Which meaning best matches the word arbitrary when the context clue is based on personal choice rather than reason? Option A. Based on personal choice rather than reason. Option B. Required. Option C. Careful. Option D. Logical. The correct answer is option A. Based on personal choice rather than reason. The context clue defines arbitrary as based on personal choice rather than reason, so that meaning fits the word. Logical, required, and careful point to different ideas and would change the meaning of the item. Question 75. The reasoning in the instructions asks students to choose the best supported answer, relies on which assumption? Option A. Students should choose by emotion. Option B. Support never matters on reading tests. Option C. Every answer choice is supported equally. Option D. Some answer choices may sound reasonable but lack evidence. The correct answer is option D. Some answer choices may sound reasonable but lack evidence. The reasoning depends on the idea that some answer choices may sound reasonable but lack evidence, because that link makes the statement sensible. Every answer choice is supported equally. Students should choose by emotion, and support never matters on reading tests either contradict the statement or add claims the statement does not require. Question 76. The reasoning in the teacher tells students to watch for words that signal contrast, relies on which assumption? Option A, contrast words are only punctuation marks. Option B, contrast words can change the direction of an idea. Option C, all signal words show examples. Option D, contrast never appears in reading questions. The correct answer is option B. Contrast words can change the direction of an idea. The reasoning depends on the idea that contrast words can change the direction of an idea, because that link makes the statement sensible. Contrast words are only punctuation marks. All signal words show examples, and contrast never appears in reading questions either contradict the statement or add claims the statement does not require. Question 77. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Rereading can improve accuracy on difficult questions. Option A, difficult questions never include clues. Option B, rereading always takes less time. Option C, a second reading may reveal a contrast or detail missed at first. Option D, all questions are answered from memory. The correct answer is option C. A second reading may reveal a contrast or detail missed at first. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Rereading always takes less time, all questions are answered from memory, and difficult questions never include clues or unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 78. How should a reader describe the tone of the writer respects the difficulty of the task while explaining how practice can make it manageable? Option A, supportive. Option B, dismissive. Option C, jealous. Option D, threatening. The correct answer is option A, supportive. The wording creates a supportive tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Dismissive, jealous, and threatening do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 79. The statement "a strong summary includes the central point while leaving out minor details" mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A, a summary should change the writer's meaning. Option B, a summary should include all examples. Option C, effective summaries focus on the main point instead of every detail. Option D, minor details are more important than central ideas. The correct answer is option C. Effective summaries focus on the main point instead of every detail. The sentence centers on the idea that effective summaries focus on the main point instead of every detail. A summary should include all examples. Minor details are more important than central ideas, and a summary should change the writer's meaning, either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 80. Identify the best connector for the blank. The library extended its evening hours. Blank, more students could study after work. Option A, in contrast. Option B, for instance. Option C, similarly. Option D, as a result. The correct answer is option D, as a result. The two ideas show cause and effect, so as a result creates the clearest logical connection. In contrast signals a different relationship, for instance introduces a different type of link, and similarly does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 81. Identify the best connector for the blank. The tutor reviewed vocabulary in context. Blank, she also practiced inference questions with the group. Option A, however. Option B, therefore. Option C, in addition. Option D, for example. The correct answer is option C, in addition. The two ideas show addition, so in addition creates the clearest logical connection. However signals a different relationship, therefore introduces a different type of link, and for example does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 82. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Tone can be identified through word choice. Option A, tone is always stated in the title. Option B, word choice has no effect on meaning. Option C, words like unfortunately or fortunately signal the writer's attitude. Option D, tone questions require outside research. The correct answer is option C. Words like unfortunately or fortunately signal the writer's attitude. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Tone is always stated in the title, word choice has no effect on meaning, and tone questions require outside research are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 83. The statement "a checklist reminds students to read all answer choices before selecting one" is mainly written for which purpose? Option A. To summarize a novel's ending. Option B. To entertain readers with dialogue. Option C. To advise students on careful reading behavior. Option D. To announce a weather forecast. The correct answer is option C. To advise students on careful reading behavior. The statement is designed to advise students on careful reading behavior, which matches its practical focus and wording. To entertain readers with dialogue, to announce a weather forecast, and to summarize a novel's ending describe purposes that are not supported by the content of the statement. Question 84. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. First, students read the question stem. Then they evaluated each answer choice. Option A, sequence. Option B, definition. Option C, contrast. Option D, cause and effect. The correct answer is option A, sequence. The second sentence relates to the first through sequence, so that relationship best describes the pair. Contrast, cause and effect, and definition describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 85. Identify the best connector for the blank. Students checked in at the desk. Blank, they placed their bags in lockers before testing. Option A. However. Option B. Next. Option C. For example. Option D. Therefore. The correct answer is option B. Next. The two ideas show sequence, so next creates the clearest logical connection, however signals a different relationship, for example introduces a different type of link, and therefore does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 86. How should a reader describe the tone of "the memo urgently asked students to correct registration errors before the deadline"? Option A, nostalgic. Option B, relaxed. Option C, amused. Option D, urgent. The correct answer is option D, urgent. The wording creates an urgent tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Relaxed, amused, and nostalgic do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 87. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. Many students misunderstood the schedule. The advisor posted a clearer checklist near the door. Option A, definition. Option B, sequence only. Option C, comparison. Option D, problem and solution. The correct answer is option D, problem and solution. The second sentence relates to the first through problem and solution, so that relationship best describes the pair. Comparison, definition, and sequence only describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 88. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Supported inferences are stronger than guesses. Option A. A guess is stronger when it is surprising. Option B. A valid inference must be based on clues provided in the statement. Option C. All conclusions are equally supported. Option D. A reader's personal experience replaces evidence. The correct answer is option B. A valid inference must be based on clues provided in the statement. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. A guess is stronger when it is surprising, all conclusions are equally supported, and a reader's personal experience replaces evidence are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 89. Identify the best connector for the blank. The first sentence defines the term blank. The second sentence explains the same concept in simpler words. Option A. Similarly. Option B. For example. Option C. However. Option D. Therefore. The correct answer is option A. Similarly. The two ideas show comparison, so similarly creates the clearest logical connection, however signals a different relationship, therefore introduces a different type of link, and for example, does not match the way the ideas connect. Question 90. Given the information, the tutor asks students to explain why 3 choices are wrong. Which conclusion is best supported? Option A. The tutor is teaching math procedures. Option B. Only the first answer choice matters. Option C, students should ignore wrong answers. Option D, eliminating distractors is part of careful reading. The correct answer is option D. Eliminating distractors is part of careful reading. The statement directly supports the idea that eliminating distractors is part of careful reading. Only the first answer choice matters. Students should ignore wrong answers, and the tutor is teaching math procedures go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 91. How should a reader describe the tone of the report? Lists the results without praising or blaming any department. Option A, humorous. Option B, biased. Option C, angry. Option D, objective. The correct answer is option D, objective. The wording creates an objective tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Angry, humorous, and biased do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 92. How should a reader describe the tone of the author? Jokes that the longest line on campus is always the one students join when they are already late. Option A, tragic. Option B, accusatory. Option C, lighthearted. Option D, formal. The correct answer is option C, lighthearted. The wording creates a lighthearted tone because it shows the writer's attitude toward the situation. Formal, tragic, and accusatory do not match the emotional signal created by the sentence. Question 93. The word both in the sentence "the report compared online practice and paper practice, and both had advantages" most clearly refers to what? Option A, only online practice. Option B, online practice and paper practice. Option C, the report. Option D, advantages. The correct answer is option B, online practice and paper practice. The pronoun points back to online practice and paper practice, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. The report, advantages, and only online practice do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically. Question 94. The statement "a definition may be signaled by phrases such as means, refers to, or is known as" mainly emphasizes which idea? Option A, signal phrases hide the meaning. Option B, definitions are unrelated to vocabulary. Option C, definition clues always appear at the end. Option D, definition signals help readers identify meanings. The correct answer is option D, definition signals help readers identify meanings. The sentence centers on the idea that definition signals help readers identify meanings. Definition clues always appear at the end, signal phrases hide the meaning, and definitions are unrelated to vocabulary either focus on an unrelated point, distort the message, or overstate what the sentence says. Question 95. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Previewing a question before reading improves focus. Option A, students who preview the question know what information to look for while reading. Option B, some students prefer blue pens. Option C, the testing room has bright lights. Option D, reading is one of several placement areas. The correct answer is option A. Students who preview the question know what information to look for while reading. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Some students prefer blue pens, the testing room has bright lights, and reading is one of several placement areas are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 96. Given the information a campus notice reminds students to bring photo identification to testing, which conclusion is best supported? Option A, photo identification is used only after testing. Option B, students choose their own test questions. Option C, students may not be admitted without proper identification. Option D, the test can be taken without check-in. The correct answer is option C. Students may not be admitted without proper identification. The statement directly supports the idea that students may not be admitted without proper identification. The test can be taken without check-in, photo identification is used only after testing, and students choose their own test questions go beyond the information given or contradict it. Question 97. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship online practice questions can build confidence. Unfocused guessing can reinforce weak habits. Option A, definition. Option B, contrast. Option C, cause and effect. Option D, sequence. The correct answer is option B, contrast. The second sentence relates to the first through contrast, so that relationship best describes the pair. cause and effect, sequence, and definition describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 98. What evidence most directly supports this claim? Eliminating distractors is a useful strategy. Option A, distractors are always shorter than answers. Option B, students should pick the first familiar phrase. Option C, elimination is only used in math. Option D, removing unsupported choices increases the chance of selecting the supported answer. The correct answer is option D. Removing unsupported choices increases the chance of selecting the supported answer. The detail directly supports the claim because it gives a reason or example that matches the claim's main idea. Distractors are always shorter than answers, students should pick the first familiar phrase, and elimination is only used in math are unrelated, too general, or inconsistent with the claim. Question 99. The pair of sentences mainly shows what relationship. The testing center added more afternoon appointments. Students had shorter wait times for placement exams. Option A, cause and effect. Option B, definition. Option C, comparison. Option D, contrast. The correct answer is option A, cause and effect. The second sentence relates to the first through cause and effect, so that relationship best describes the pair. Contrast, definition, and comparison describe different structures and do not match how the two statements work together. Question 100. The word it in the sentence Rena marked the transition word because it showed a contrast, most clearly refers to what? Option A, the transition word. Option B, a contrast. Option C, the mark. Option D, Rena. The correct answer is option A, the transition word. The pronoun points back to the transition word, which is the noun or idea that logically fits the action in the sentence. Rena, a contrast, and the mark do not complete the meaning of the pronoun as clearly or logically.